their ticket into Division 1.
Yep, so for everyone watching, again, the stakes of this game, if Bright win, they're in. If Meteor win, we go around again with another round of best of ones. So if you want to watch more Dota, cheer for Meteor. If you want to see a strong team that have shown consistency throughout the season, or even just want to play a few pubs, then Bright are the ones to go for.
Easy D ward. Nice read from Marblu. Saw that the Watcher was already taken. You just guessed it was a nice read. He's like, oh, more than likely there's probably a ward up on that twin gate, and you're right.
Yeah. Look at so I was mentioning the blood grenades. Obviously, we've spoken with a few players that say it just allows for outplays in terms of the lanes, but both Irving as well as Imitator are holding on to one at the moment. So clearly seeing the value in this one for the Brewmaster lane specifically, just because Cinder Brew, easy proc.
True. Very true. Okay, very interesting.
I said that during the draft, you just weren't listening.
You didn't? Okay. Why'd you say it again then?
Just because I thought you weren't listening. You know, I know you by this point.
Call me off guard. Call me off guard. Maybe I said it was true in the draft as well, but just wanted to follow up and be like,
so
damn.
I know that wasn't the case.
Oh, you listened to you? Next time you say what I say, I'll bring it up.
Sounds good.
I'll be
That's
like,
very fair.
all right.
Look at Imitator, though, getting so aggressive against this lane. Like I said before, you can really look to play around the Shukuchi very well with this. I mentioned this in the draft, by the way. You could just look to dodge out the Ignite through the Shukuchi unless he's got a Sentry Ward laid down. You know, if you're invis, that is not going to connect in onto you. He's checking to see if there's anything that's going to be blocking up his camp. It is, but he's just a little bit too far away, unfortunately, to be able to get that D Ward off. So while it'll save the lane, it won't be able to assist with any sort of pulls that are happening. You can just see there with Imitator, as soon as he... on the bottom side, as soon as he ducked out of the invis, he instantly copped an Ignite to the face. So that's what TZ is going to be playing around. Enough about that lane, though. We've talked about that enough. How are these other lanes going? Top side, Heart, he's farming as close as possible under the tower. This is fine for now. But again, you have to be careful. Once that level 3 comes up, that Doom isn't just going to start running at you. You can even see he's got the 1 point in the Infernal Blade to put a little bit more harassment onto Undyne if he does decide to come forward. Honestly, even the TB, right? Just to be able to slow him down. And I'm assuming that TB is going to be saving that reflection for when they go for that next attempt onto him.
Oh, Arrow? Yeah. It's only level 1 in Scorched Earth, though, so Undyne's doing his job, just taking up some damage, taking up some spells, so Heart can continue to find his farm. And meanwhile, mid lane, of course, we got Echoes on his Spirit, and then Phoenix on one of the more played heroes that we've seen from him so far throughout the DPC. Is
the mass Iron Branch builder on Echoes as well. Again, universal hero, so he just wants to buff up his damage in any way possible. And look at what it meant. Look at what it means in terms of attack damage. 74 attack damage on Echoes and just the 62 on the Leshrac right now. So they're essentially forcing him to have to play around these water runes quite heavily. I wonder if we'll see an eventual rotation come through from, let's say, the Mirana, just around the 4-minute mark, just to be able to protect, for example, that top rune and really hinder Phoenix's ability to stay in this lane and farming. Getting close to that level 3, though, up top. Molasses wants to. He can buy the Ring of Health now, just because it is a little bit cheaper. So, and it really does enable you to go for those dives as well, doesn't it? That extra 5 regen underneath the tower. They're even using the arrow. Oh, they're actually making an aggressive attempt before he's 3.
Yeah, they got the meta first, up to that extra level, so they feel like with the extra damage, Molasses will end up going down hard. You got to finish your meal, and he will do just that. So nice first blood's going to be given over to the carry on Bright.
Do you see what Marblu did, though? He leaped over and gave him the Lotus that he'd taken from the Lotus pool. He instantly used it, but it wasn't enough to be able to give him safety.
Very cute.
That's exactly what they needed to do on Bright, right? They know that this timing is coming. They know there's a reason that you're walking up forward and arrowing a range creep. It's to try and get that level 3 as quickly as possible. So what do they do in response? They make their move before they can get aggressive. Doom did get the Ring of Health delivered, but that was after he'd already taken about half of his HP pool in damage.
And for bottom, we're probably going to see them get aggressive very shortly now. Irving just completed the urn. So they'd love to be able to get some stacks, and yeah, they'll put some damage onto the Spectre, in fact. Won't have enough to be able to secure the kill. Imitator, though, some back and forth. Maybe they will. Imitator, he'll stand strong, recognizing truly how difficult the Weaver can be to deal with. And well, there's some urn charges now to play with.
Yep, even just keeping him healthy. But they can just look to go for another attempt immediately, I would say, onto the Spectre here. What's really stopping you? She doesn't have any regen left. You've got the Shikuchi back available, and you've got that urn charge. So I'm a little surprised that they're just sitting back and farming in this lane. I guess it's effectively as good as getting a kill onto the Spectre, just denying everything up in her face. But you know, more kills for a Brewmaster, not exactly the strongest laner traditionally, is going to put them in a really good spot. I mean, even just taking away that Ignite now, they can maybe look to go for this dive as they do.
This seems like bottom lane's not going to get any easier, though, for Radiant. Like, once more levels get picked up, Spectre is a very... Like, you just farm in lanes. You don't ever have any kill threat. You're pretty just... You're a passive laner. And Ogre, without an aggressive laner with him as well, he usually just tanks a bunch of spells and tanks... just tries to keep his carry afloat, but they can probably kill the Ogre even with all the armor he's got.
Weaver was considering going top, but it actually might be Clockwork coming bottom instead. The kill onto the Spectre would be amazing if he's able to secure it, but looks like he doesn't want to leave the TB on his own for too long.
Well, they can kill the Terrorblade, though. You've got meta backup, and they see Moran at bottom, who, even with the 3 heroes, it looks like, are they going to be able to even kill Irving? Gets a swipe, and now Imitator's starting to get a lot of damage. Maybe with the urn, if they found that charge before the Brewmaster went down, they could have got a kill, but back to top lane now. There's that meta we're speaking about with Molasses alone. Beautifully done. They're able to find a secondary kill onto the Doom in this lane.
Feels pretty nice, right? Ooh, you've got Leshrac making a move up towards the top side. Not under any sort of radiant vision, but I have to wonder how much Echoes is aware of this as well. Looks like he's come back bottom. Come back towards mid, realizing that Echoes has that bottle refill to be able to play around with it. Does he get a solo kill onto the Ogre? Looks to die off of the rune in his face.
Will? Oh boy. That's did you say sorry, Phoenix got the die? Yeah, it looks like it.
He denied the rune.
And gets a solo kill, so level 6, bunch of gold. See what the play is going to be now for him afterwards. You have those wisdom runes, Imitator and Marblu. Bit of a battle down bottom. Weaver should be able to come out on top of this. He's like, do I go for the kill or do I go for the rune? Maybe I can go back the rune. Whoa, don't get duked out. Oh, we got duked. We still get it. Oh, we still got the rune as well. No.
You can't go through that. He's got 1 leap left on Marblu.
Does he go leap into a TP? Oh, there's a creep there. Oh, all right. Well, regardless, Imitator was able to get the wisdom rune. Meanwhile, Clockwork went down in the side lane, and Void Spirit bottled up the other rune as well.
Level 7 now, but it's going to mean your supports suffer a little bit, right? Marblu wasn't able to grab that rune for himself. Ogre, he's just level 4 as well. You almost wonder, like, is there any point? I'm a big advocate of 1 point Bloodlust, and he's going to go it just because the amount of value that it provides is insane, but I'm not expecting him to actually get much
top lane
utility out of it.
Not again, man. Doom, he just can't seem to get off to a good start, and now they're even going to rotate Phoenix up here as well, so it's not like they were dependent on that extra damage coming out from the meta.
I want to keep eyes on this Void Spirit. The rune is bottom, and it's a shield rune as well. I mean, what more could you possibly ask for either of these heroes right now? Echoes, so much is on the back of him as he gets the rune denied in his face by Imitator. I mean, he really needs to do everything right now. The only one that's having even a decent time in lane. Again, a Void Spirit doing a really good job into the Shrek without going this Dissimulate build. I'm kind of shocked.
Let's see what he's going to be able to do off the back of this good start, though, from Echoes, because currently both the side lanes are struggling. Like, your Doom is behind the Terrorblade by 1,500 gold, which is a stupid amount. I mean, he can just free farm back in the jungle, and you can look to give the top lane over to a support, and our bottom's going to get pretty unplayable. This is Vessel in 400 gold and almost Primal Split as well, so a Spectre might not even be able to lane here as well.
I'm just looking as well. I'm not sure about the interaction, but at the moment, Hart, he's holding on to the Duelist Gloves. So one of the new neutral items grants 15 attack speed as long as there are enemy heroes within 900 units. So is he going to be really on point with just constantly checking his attack speed? That's the little hand symbol now above your armor, just to see if there's someone close by, maybe looking to go for a gank for him. I know that Barana activated the additional speed as Phoenix dies.
Okay.
Are they going to be able to get a kill onto Molasses, though? Should be. Well, I was about to say fast enough to get away, but
Nice.
There's that hurricane creep.
Yeah, very great use of it.
But yeah, I'm not sure if it like activates the additional attack speed through fog or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure as well. That's something we'll have to find out. But does seem like might have a bit of a battle over this top lane. Heart's still got half duration of the meta left. The
Might
numbers
just be
advantage
the
they have
C1
right
tower.
now. Yeah.
Oh, nice tumblers.
Howard does seem like it's still going to go down nonetheless. Now Molasses, hang on a second. He's stuck around for a little bit too long. Another great use of the Hurricane. This time he doesn't get much distance away. The Waver's not going to have enough damage to secure the kill, so as the time lapse to work with, got to be cautious about the potential doom, and looks like Imitator will respect that, but he's going to run straight to Echo shortly. Remnant's on the mark. Does he have enough burst by himself? Well, he can set up for the arrow, so it doesn't matter if they don't blow him up through the Remnant. They'll still get him afterwards.
It's a couple of deaths, sure, but you get the tower. That's the important thing, right? Opening up these side lanes, preventing a lot of easier connection through up onto this top side of the map. Like, there's no way for you to be able to take away this outpost next to the top twin gate area. So you're always going to have this slightly safer opportunity to be able to play around this. And I mean, even just with that take of the tower, Imitator laid down this observer ward to the left-hand side of where it used to be. So if someone's farming really conservatively, they're going to be able to spot that out. Another smoke happening between Echoes and Marblu. Again, I mentioned that if you want it to be really reliable with a lot of these pickoffs, you're going to need a Yule Scepter, but Echoes realizes that will probably leave them lacking in damage, so he wants to just rely on his own abilities to be able to do so. Astral Step through them to get the slow, into the Aether Remnant, into a hopeful stun coming through from Marblu, but unfortunately for him, they break the smoke to be able to get that D-ward off, so they should be able to react and stay at least in the tree line to force a lot of heroes to play down here at this point in the game where they really don't want to.
Oh, they're going to catch up the clockwork. Irving wants to fight, though. It still hasn't got any use out of the Vessel or the Split, which, in fact, he just used the Vessel. So he's out of charges now.
Yeah. Unideal, I think, that rotation. I mean, Phoenix, previously, he could have very easily joined in that top fight if he wanted to, but he was prioritizing getting his own net worth for that Bloodstone. I think that's what he needs to continue doing. It's not like they have the greatest tower pushers right now on Meteor Gaming, so I think he can afford to get away with that sort of stuff. Of course, you need to be careful about giving lives away just off the back of ganks, but I think that's where Clockwork and Weaver just need to take this moment to play a little bit more selflessly. Give up their lives if it's going to prevent a gank attempt onto your cause for now, because they're about to be online in about 2-3 minutes. That's exactly what Imitator's doing in this bottom lane, just staying next to Irving, letting him continue to scale off of those levels. And now he can start building into those auras as well. The track once again connecting to the bottom side. A little short for the Bloodstone gold though, so has every other component for it. I guess with the 4 points in the Edict, they feel like they want to put a little bit of their own pressure on, but what have they got in response? They've got a mech on Molasses, they've got TZ bloodlusting the tower.
The mid lane Heart. Oh, great Thunder. Has some of the damage into the Echoes down to half. Irving would love to use his ultimate, still looking for that first opportunity, but maybe just with him acting as a body, they might be able to get some more damage into the tower, but we see how worried Heart is about still sticking around.
But even just this, they're probably going to get a tower off the back of it, right? Because you didn't fully commit TPs on the Leshrac or the Weaver for that spike.
All right, there's the split force to use it defensively so Molasses didn't doom him up. And they're actually going to look to control the doom. Do they want to cyclone him down for the split earth timing? They're too late with it, though.
They can just run if they want.
And they should be able to. Imitator, though, looking for the backstab. Cog's going to hold Molasses in place, but once again with a Hurricane, And Molasses, he's still got the mechanism. So barely any damage dealt to the Doom. Bright, they looked for the cute play, but in the end, their timing just wasn't on the mark, and that's going to cost them because they're looking for more now.
Under the vision.
And as a result, they should be able to bring him down. Can he get the time lapse off? He does. Imitator scurry on away, but that's now split on cooldown, Meta on cooldown, and Radiant. I mean, you're fine to keep going. All while Spectre, he's catching up. Like this Blade Mail, he's got Rapier queued up. He's been left on a complete island for a decent chunk of time, and he's someone that does need to be addressed.
It's Radiance, not Rapier. It's not at that stage of the game.
Did I say Rapier? Oh, whoops.
You did. I mean, you're just wishful thinking. You know, you really want that item to come out. I was honestly expecting them just to continue to split up the map on Bright. I thought it was great that they forced a lot of rotations towards that mid lane, and Imitator was just there in front of the tier 1 tower bottom with a creep wave, being able to hit into it. So I feel like if he just stayed down there and didn't try and force a fight without a Leshrac with the Bloodstone completed, they could have taken a tier 1 tower.
I don't know about this. Undying finds a perfect hookshot angle. He's actually pretty survivable though. That mechanism once again repairing a lot of the damage. TC will still go down. And well, they'll get a couple of vessel charges now for Irving to play with. And I mean, Lesh just completed a Bloodstone as well, so I'd love to see him get active, but it's actually his opposition. It's the position to an Echoes that was wanting to try and get into the middle of it all, securing another kill. He's 4-0 and 2 second in net worth.
Spec's going to need to use the Haunt just to get away from this Leshrac up top. So I was almost thinking that this was a bit of a wasted opportunity for Phoenix to be able to get active because he didn't have mana around the Bloodstone. He ends up popping it just to regen a bit for himself, and he didn't have a TP either. It only just got delivered. So maybe with that Haunt now being on cooldown, with Spec having such low HP as well, and being forced to TP back to base, they can look to take out this bottom tower with the siege creep and look to open up the map a little bit more for themselves.
Lesh has got to be here. And maybe with the Terrorblade, the damage is going to be enough. They'll get the kill onto Molasses. Now Echoes as well is the next. He's out of ultimate charges, and they've got vision of him as well, looking to try and disengage through the tree line. He'll be able to get some distance. As a result, he's going to be okay. So 1-for-1, a big kill onto the Doom, and finally, this bottom tower is going to go down as well. Okay.
Could be better, like you said. The Lesh really felt like he needed to be up there, but you still get what you were down there for. You know, if you've got a Void Spirit off the back of that, you would feel pretty happy. Unfortunately, ends up dying underneath the high ground there, expecting that there's some sort of vision, but with the Rocket Flare, they'll know that that's not the case.
Oh, that was a Solar Crest as well.
Yeah. Healthy chunk of change.
Yes, sir, indeed. They're even gonna maybe try and chain this into another kill with Undying showing mid lane. Echoes will be able to catch up to him though. So I mean, this game is starting to stabilize though, isn't it? Like still Spectre hasn't been addressed. And so what do we think of the Radiance? Because of course you are versus Terrorblade, so Reflection is quite nice versus his item, but obviously he sees a lot of value with it even against his matchup.
Sorry, I'm just watching the mid lane with Undying potentially going down again. Echo's a little low on mana, really making use out of all of these timings that he's
he's 100% dead actually.
Yeah.
No ultimate charges and no escape for him. Okay, you had to commit both of them to get the kill into the clockwork, and now you're going to try and catch up to Marblu, who's got one more leap, and he's pretty far back in his own side of the map. I think... Okay, I was going to say, you still going for this? I don't know.
It's a brew, you never know. So the Radiance, I mean... It's a farming item, for one. Yes, you don't want it into the Reflection either, but I'm just thinking, like, how are they feeling taking a lot of these, like, longer fights? Because I feel like it's going to be Bright that are feeling a lot more confident off the back of that, right? Like, Void Spirit has a finite amount of time that he can spend in fights. Nicely almost done by Molasses, but Undying's got the Tumbler's Toy to be able to interrupt.
Even Irving's going to try and connect just in case if the fight breaks out where he's required. So they'll still be able to get the kill onto the Doom, and simultaneously Imitator will be able to solo kill Marblu as well. So, I mean, we're saying that the Spectre's been able to keep up, well, getting his farm, but the Terrorblade is still completely untouched. 0 deaths for half this game. There's already one component on the way to the Skadi.
I mean, it almost feels like you need to get the perfect Doom off onto the TV while he's not in meta with illusions, and I mean, how do you... He's going to need a Blink Dagger on the Doom, right? But again, like, how much can you afford to lean into that sort of item build if you're this full aura bot that's needed just to enable the fights, right? It's Spectre with all the Haunt Illusions is going to love to play off the back of that. Again, you're a strength hero, so even something like a Crimson Guard feels okay. But at the end of the day, like something like a Pipe, if Brewmaster's on point, he could just dispel a lot of the active buff coming through from that.
It's a difficult call. Well, simultaneously, though, we see what's happening top. Echoes is going to be able to find his tower. Is this, I think, Kai completed. So back into the real old build that we've seen for the Void Spirit, level 12 as well. So a lot more burst potential here with that second in the Astral Step.
Still don't hate the Dagon, but I feel like now is the right time to go for it, right? Where you've got some spell amplification, where the spell amp is going to benefit your Ags as well, on top of everything else. Nice Rocket Flare, though, to be able to scout out that it's not just him up here, it's also TZ.
Speaking of the Clockwork, he's going to try and find the hook shot mid lane on Marblu. Radiant are definitely looking for a fight, though. You've got this Radiance completed. Spectre TP's back to base to fill up on the resources, so they are wanting to make a go on Meteor, but maybe with that death on the Marauder, it means it's going to delay it by a little bit longer.
I think so. I mean, Molasses, he's close to level 12. You've almost got the Crimson Guard completed on him. You've almost got a Pipe completed on the Marana. They're so close to so many items, right? Including well, they've picked up the Radiance ever since on the Spectre. So I think they can afford to wait just another minute or two. You're not really going to lose much else in this time. You haven't taken a tier 2 tower up top, so your own Tormentor isn't in danger. Sure, the enemy team might get theirs, but I think you're fine with that if it's just going to enable you to fight so much more strongly into the Leshrac and the TB. Issue is that Hart, he's closing in on a Skadi for himself, so already kind of hard to kill this lineup with the Primal Split, with the Time Lapse, with the Bloodstone on the Leshrac, and, well, a level 15 TB with a Skadi just adds another layer to that altogether. He's even going to be able to get a Wisdom Rune as well if he wants. Imitator yonks it away, though, in his face.
I like that they're going for this, though. I wasn't sure if he was going to stick around for the Tormentor, but okay, he brought it down so fast. What the hell?
All illusion heroes do it really well, because it's just more units to be able to spread it around onto, so people end up dying a lot less quickly.
Sure. So as a result, we see the Ag Shard has been given over to the Clockwork, so he's got the Jetpack now, which is going to be really nice inside the fights to be able to just scout out. Like, who inside fights, who's his like #1 target that he's trying to disrupt? Because he's not going to kill anyone, but it's maybe like disruption or setting up for maybe Phoenix to get a follow-up stun.
I wonder almost if he's playing as like a counter initiator and the Jetpack is more as like an escape tool, considering he doesn't want to have a 4-star.
Irving. Whoa, whoa, whoa! All right, that's a great target to run into to start the fight.
They want a +1.
And they might be able to find it off to the side, trying to get this Haunt over towards Phoenix, but they're doing a good job to clump together, which will make it difficult to get that +1. But regardless, though, is the reveal they're looking for. They might just look to go again, though, on Bright. As soon as the respawn is there from Irving, that is a Doom used and a Haunt used.
Yeah, what's really stopping them? You know, they could potentially look to maybe make a play down towards this bottom side of the map. Nice hook shot off. He's on point, or a little bit slow there on the
wraparound. Imitator is going to be able to give them all the vision they need to take the team fight. They can't catch up to Echoes, though, so just TZ.
But it's in front of the Roche pit as well.
Okay. They've met up, they do. And Skadi's coming out, so this should be Roche for free.
Yeah, they've got a Solar Crest as well as the Swarm to be able to assist this even further if they're wanting to. They should be able to take this nice and easily. So again, it just enables a bit more of that dive, right? It's going to go onto the Phoenix, I would think. I really don't feel like TB necessarily needs it at this stage. It's just about enabling that frontline potential, that tower taking, which the Leshrac is going to provide you at this point. You can look at a scale a little bit. Is the Weaver going into the Glipnir for himself? Of course, lots of great stats off the back of the Atos, which I think he's actually just got that part finished up now, but even enables you to farm a little bit once, or if it gets into those later stages with the Maelstrom.
There's a shard going to go over to...
Ooh, bad.
Unluck. Definitely would have liked the Fire Shield, especially for the TB. I don't know if that's purgeable, though. Do you know if that you can dispel it with the Brew?
Good question.
I would imagine so, but
I would imagine so too.
Cannot confirm.
It is.
All right, let's go time. It is okay, perfect. Irving, Arcane Rune at the ready. They didn't have to commit a lot for that Roche.
They're going for like a big wraparound that maybe assuming that they're going to be able to catch Spectre farming back defensively here, but well, Mirana, I'm not sure if that's enough.
Yeah. Wrapping around, but again, you're 100% right. That initiation on the Mirana gives them time to be able to retreat. So Ogre TP's out, and everyone else is going to be able to escape as well. Maybe they'll just run it down the lane.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, no, they've still got tier 2 mid, but it's the side towers that you want to enable, right? This is the one that maybe blocks off an avenue for Spectre to be able to farm an extra ancient camp. This is the one that, you know, if you wait another, 7 minutes, the Tormentor is going to be back up and available for you to potentially steal away, just because you've got the map control at this point. But the real question for me is, what are they going to be able to do on Meteor once this Aghanim Scepter comes through for Spectre? He's level 16, so fully skilled out, 2 talents, and just 600 gold away from that Ag. They're pinging her out, though. She's farming right underneath an Observer Ward, and this is the exact sort of situation that you want, catching a Spectre away from the rest of the team if possible. They have another smoke to be able to play around with. They do. They've got 2 on the clockwork.
Oh, hookshot again from Undyne. Another Mirana catch. Blue might end up going down, but Echo's going to try and disrupt. Got to be cautious how heavily he wants to commit. But
it's just that delay
Bright
game,
just going to turn their attention to mid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they didn't get top tier 2, at least. So they're doing a pretty good job of delaying for this Spectre. She's got enough to be able to buy out the Ags, but Korea not close to it. She's going to need to be cautious with her pathing just to make sure it's not getting caught by any sort of bright heroes on the way. They might even be able to see it as it makes a rotation through. I think it just avoided the sentry ward in front of the tier 1 tower. The tier 3 tower. That ward, though, saw the smoke.
Yep. So Undyne, are they even going to scan as well just to confirm?
Ooh. He's going to be able to get back. I thought he might play a little bit more aggressively with the jetpack and then go for like a 4-staff into hookshot play to be able to get back. Might still look to go for it. How quick is he on the fingers? Not quick enough.
Was the Shadow Step used? Nothing really forced out there in the end. And they're going to be able to get their lanes pushed out as well now. Bot's in a pretty good position. Imitator, what are you doing here, brother? Hang on. What's going on? They want to fight? I'm still going to run into the middle. He's ready to go with this BKB completed. They're wrapping on all angles right now. Irving ready to go with the primal split, but again, the control is just a big thing lacking, and this time the detection as well. He's going to try and find a hole to TP up, but won't be able to in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they were looking to try and get a little bit aggressive just because they don't have the clockwork, and clock is such a huge portion of their initiation, right? Like, we've seen the amount of times he's able to get that connection. Yeah, it's been onto, like, a Mirana, but that's all they can play with right now.
Speaking of the Mirana, should be an easy death. One more leap to work with pretty shortly, but it's not going to matter. Yeah, it's just, you're bleeding kills, but you're bleeding supports, and this Aegis, they're not really getting much out of it. Maybe they feel forced to go high ground right now. And you've got it for another 30 seconds, and you're probably frustrated as well with how Meteor are playing this map.
Yeah, I wonder how much they're going to have a look at, like, some of the things, the small things, right? Like, how long do the TB illusions on bot have duration? They would have seen Imitator top, so do they feel confident fighting into this? They don't, they previously popped the glyph, but they still don't really get anything out of all of this. They will get a shield rune, though, if Phoenix checks the river, and he's close to those boots of travel, so that's really going to enable him. I want to see him go straight into, like, a blink dagger after that, because he still needs to be able to instantly connect with this clockwork to be able to find these kills reliably, because I feel like there's just that little bit of lack of confidence to be able to secure that kill. Actually, give it over to TB. Okay.
You take a look, Imitator levels and net worth wise, just far ahead of the rest of the supports. And off the back of that could prove to be a really big issue because he's fixing that control, right? He's going Gleipnir and he's super close to it. So we've seen it's pretty much been solely on the clockwork to get the jump. But now Weaver can maybe help out in that area. Well, there we go, Undyne again. This time he's got Phoenix nearby to follow up. So, I mean, that's also something else we could see as the game goes on. Phoenix, if he wants to go blink into Hex or even just blink before the Hex because he can get the follow-up stun off the back of the hook shot.
Echo will at least get the Wisdom Rune to be able to play around with from Bright. So getting him closer to that level 18. Because I think, yes, it feels weird to be constantly committing with this hook shot onto the Mirana, but it could also just be the idea of, well, we're not going to kill anyone else other than the Mirana because we just don't have a way to reliably right-click enough, you know? Echo?
On
Echo?
Yeah. Let's see how slippery he truly is. One more ultimate charge. He needs to get enough distance away to then be able to TP out afterwards, but they've locked on top of him. The stun's setting up for the cogs. Is he going to go with the ring? Goes down to the south, but of course they've got the ward on the cliff, so they know exactly where he's trying to escape to.
Thought he might have tried going into their base. You know, you are able to blink and jump over that that little side gate towards the base, so Dissimulate would have served a similar purpose. This does allow them to get out onto the map, though, right? Like, it's still early enough that with him dying at the furthest spot away from their own base, it causes a lot of investment to be able to take him down. So by the time that the Leshrac is able to get here with the siege creep for the mid-wave push, he's going to be back alive. And, well, unfortunately for Spectre, she won't be into the Manta yet, but she'll be damn close.
But even with her farm, like, is she going to... Can she 1v5 this game if it comes down to it?
I think she needs something like a Scythe of Ice after the Manta style, to be honest. Like, I think you just need to be able to use a Haunt or a Shadow Step onto, for example, Brewmaster, and just blow him up before he can get off the Greaves, before he can get off the pipe. They don't exactly have a ton of save outside of that. Like, if you've got a Force Staff on clock, that's about it.
It's either that or Molasses, right? If it's not the Spectre dealing with the Brew, then you all the pressure is on the Doom, and we haven't really seen him have a lot of impact so far.
I was about to say, this is going to sound so shady, but I almost forgot that there was a Doom in this game because of
100%.
how inactive that it's been all throughout.
And look, it is doing a decent job to keep up in farm, even without the Midas. So is that going to be enough, though, as the game goes on? He's got 2,500 gold in the bank, so let's see what his choice is going to be. Help him inside some of the fights. So we start to feel that impact, because we definitely will with that ultimate, but he just needs to find the perfect target as well. Once again, Tormentors are back up. And Diasol, they've only got one, which is on the Clockwork, so this is either to the Weaver or the Brew.
You'd love it on Brew. It's the Weaver, though.
Unlucky. Which...
Not bad with the good man.
Yeah. Yes, and I mean, he's scaling. He's got BKB Daedalus queued up, so he could actually start to do a surprising amount of damage to the supports on the back line.
I think fourth core is a legitimate thing.
Irving, oh, that's a big target, and there we go. We were speaking about Molasses, and it's going to find the key priority in the Brewmaster, taking the split out of the equation, but hang on, this Terrorblade's got a DD. You've got to respect him as well. Beautiful use of the deny, but can they continue on? As Imitator off to the left side, they got the multicast. Oh, no. Oh my god.
Doom did something. Woo! I was thinking, like, what is he going to be looking to go for next? Because there's no real, like, logical progression, right? Marblue already has the Pipe of Insight. Do you want to go in towards the drums or the Boots of Bearing when you've already got the Greaves yourself? I think Shivas is the perfect one, right? It's just going to allow him to commit on forward, to be able to not only land that Blink Doom, but also to stay in, you know, contest a little bit against the Terrorblade, not only just with your increased armor, but also just the attack speed reduction that it provides as well.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably the perfect time to lose a fight for Bright, with Roshan up in 50 seconds. So there's going to be a cooldown on Horn and Doom, pretty much the exact same timing in the cooldowns. And you've got Meta as well. Heart didn't use it in that fight. So as long as they stick around, they should be able to come out on top.
They've got good vision down, though.
Hookshot. All right, it's going to catch up to Ogre. And look at the wraparound from Heart as well. This is a perfect position for the Terrorblade to start to get the damage out. Crimson's going to be able to mitigate it for the moment. The Ogre will go down, blink out to the left from Molasses. He's okay. And Marblue and Echoes might escape as well. The Glypebeam is going to make him work for it. But in the end, they will be okay. So like we were saying, I mean, Radiant, they were lacking cooldowns. And now Roche up in a couple of seconds, mean they should be able to take it off the back of the meta that's got half duration left.
I mean, it's literally king of the hill right now around this twin gate, right? They're just battling for any sort of vision around this Roshan. They've got a minute to be able to take it before he pulls up his roots and looks to get over to the other side of the map. But with that meta, with the Solar Crest and all the damage coming through from Phoenix and the minus armor from Weaver, it'll be plenty.
Oh,
I think we're going to
Aegis
see a lot more of these 4 cores, though. Like Imitator, for example. These heroes that have the capability of scaling. Like, I'm still stunned that we have seen 0 Tiny come through. It got mild nerfs, but not enough to see it just completely fall off the face of the earth.
How do they see mildly right now? What? I don't know how, but somehow they do. I don't know if it's a tower or... Regardless, Heart with the Gleipnir, easy kill. Please? Okay. I think another thing is just supports that can CL, but also have a lot of mobility, right? Which Weaver does. Because we see, I think, every time Imitator's stolen the rune, which is very big. Your mobility just to get across the map and being able to pick up those wisdom runes. And if your supports are low level, a lot of their impact early on is very much nullified.
And I really like how Bright are playing this game as well, just in terms of, like, where they're prioritizing farming. You know, Phoenix is taking probably the absolute safest farm, closest to the Wisdom Rune. It's warded up. Brewmaster, mid lane, it's still relatively safe, right? Next to a tier 2 tower. But you've got Clockwork babysitting the Terrorblade at all times for that counter initiation potential, and Weaver's able to farm the jungle. So someone else that just needs to be gone through before you get to the cores. So I think that's the way that... someone might die, but you're going to get farm on at least 2 other cores in the meantime. And at this point of the game, you can't just get a pick off with 1 or 2 people. You need a full team commitment.
Could this fire shield on Ogre be the turn, though? Like, sure, even though you have a way to dispel it, who, speaking of the Ogre, is going to get solo killed by Phoenix, but like, if it doesn't get dispelled against a lot of the high right-click damage from Heart, it could be a bit of an issue as well. Speaking of Heart, Molasses, he's kind of stuck in the middle. Echo's going to be able to cover the retreat. But he too is forced to leap away. Ooh. Alright, I mean, it's a big window. Wait, hang on. That's under the T4 tower. Undyne. Yeah, you're probably thinking twice about going for that, but it does again help them get the buildings. Echoes, well, he's looking to try and jump in and create some chaos. Irving too wants to use the split early before the Doom, and they've been able to catch him out with the Gleipnir from afar. Doom's on the retreat. Irving's going to be able to stop that short. Echo's trying to disrupt with the silence. Spectres. They don't get the stun lock. Molasses is able to reposition accordingly, so he's okay for the moment, but Echo's, he's so far out the base, but can they deal with him? Out of mana, soon to be in some trouble. Gleipnir holds him into place. Echo's, he's going to go down in the end. Heart was able to close the distance to get the right-click damage out, even with the meta expiring. So Bright, they're still going to push forward for more. They want to force this buyback. They might be able to do so now. Molasses with a jump in, but he's got an Aegis. They are okay. This man's got an Aegis. They'll kill him the once, but Spectre's now what do you have left to kill him the second time? See if they're going to be able to have the damage. Arrow's going to be on the mark, but he's got the cheese as well if it's forced to be activated. Turns, BKB, Phoenix stands strong, and now Meteor there in shambles. Forced to retreat further back to the high ground. Once again, the Echoes, the man on the mission, trying to do it all for Meteor, but does he have enough left to the tank? Might be enough to keep him alive though. Phoenix falling lower and lower. Can he get the cheese off? Multicast, he gets it, but it's not enough health back. Phoenix will go down. There's a Sunder there at the last second. The BKB should be long enough to cover the TP out. Irving, no way, Irving. Wow, great location for him to teleport away as well, but in the end, it's a hell of a successful defense from Meteor. They are still in this.
They are, for sure. I mean, again, it's the power of a lot of those auras coming through. They've got everything. They've got the Crimson Guard, they've got the Shiva's Guard, they've got the Guardian Greaves, they've got the Pipe. And with the Shivas plus the Skadi that I mentioned, with finishing up before that, we saw the cheese popped, barely healed him for about 300. I was like, did he pop a Lotus? What's going on? This is the amount you would usually get from a cheese. And with that fight, I mean, it's just Spectre continuing to scale, right? I mentioned before that you don't really have the potential in the late game to go for those 100-0 pickoffs. I would have to say Spectre might be one of those few exceptions if she's able to get up into this Moon Shard and eventually the Scythe of Ice as well. You absolutely can.
She's got the Mindbreaker, actually. She just got for the tier 4, so a little bit of extra damage, but also that silence as well to help for that pick-off potential.
Luckily, Weaver's got the BKB just finished up as well, so he is continuing to go all in onto that scaling. I think he's just a little bit tired of getting that AoE silence coming through from the Void Spirit, hitting him up every single time and preventing him from getting that time lapse.
And Echoes has been pretty huge inside these fights.
Yep.
It seems like every time he's using Resonant Pulse, it's silencing multiple heroes.
Now he's got a Scythe as well. So can you look to blow up the Brewmaster? I mean, no Doom for, well, 5 seconds.
Alright, they're just going to siege with the Brewlings and the Terrorblade summons. That's a lot of damage. So response going to be like, Elite Barracks is their first target. And they're going to back on out. Oh, so, okay, so that's... You get a tier 3 tower, but there's a window, right? You probably try and get mid shoved out and then maybe look to make a play off the back of the smoke or Moonlight Shadow, knowing splits on cooldown.
Yeah, my thing is, like, do you try and get level 25 on the Spectre? She's so close. Hopefully they don't smoke underneath this Observer Ward as well. It's inside of the base. They're looking to try and clear it out real quick. And, oh, there we go. Smoke being put into Mirana's backpack.
They should know.
They should. Yeah, instantly use that Rocket Flare. He's been really on point Undying, hasn't he?
He has indeed.
Even just that mid lane being pushed in by the TB illusions as well, and they're going to need to address it. I mean, it's a 40-minute creep wave, so every 5 minutes from 35 minutes onwards, you get that double spawn of the wave, and it's super creeps as well. So even without the TB illusion, that would do plenty to be able to get this. So they're just playing uber defensively. Like, this is probably the first time that we've seen Bright inside their base for the past 15 minutes.
You're asking for them to wait for the Spectre 25. At least they've got it now. So he's gone for that Haunt illusion damage.
Spec can go... Well, no, she can't actually. No TP. But she's the one that's going to be defending here. She's, of course, got the Haunt, got the Shadow Step to be able to find a way to reconnect with the team if she really wants to. So gets back to base, clears it out. But with this, like, TP might just take a range Rax.
They're actually setting up bottom for a potential fight on Bright. Are they actually going to continue on? Molasses and Marblu are showing in the lane.
Who can Undying catch? They'll know he's hanging around. In a cheeky little clockwork. And we have to remember that Brew bought his Aghanim shot, I believe, right? So the next one that comes through is going to be for a real core that has the potential to carry the game, right? Like, the game becomes a lot more challenging, even for Echoes, for example. Like, with how long this Lesh is probably going to be surviving, you're going to land at least 2 split Earths, and, you know, he's been pretty on point with his positioning, but again, no BKB for him on Meteor, so maybe he just gets caught by a split Earth that he wasn't quite expecting. And they're right there to be able to take it once again. TB getting it this time. So Demon Zeal, still not terrible. And I think he's got Satanic maybe finished up for himself as well. So again, like, you don't need to completely disengage off the back of meta being on cooldown. Who's going to catch who?
See, Imitator's going to try and give them the vision. Instant use of the BKB with a fault from Undying as well. They'll start onto the Mirana, but Echo's bot, he wants to turn it back around. They've blown up the clockwork, so we're 4 for 5, favoring Meteor. And now they're on Phoenix as well. He's been able to activate the BKB before the Doom, so the damage, it's being mitigated, but it's not stopping Spectre. Echoes, he can still jump over the top as well. Heart, can he do it by himself off the back of the Terrorblade? He's going to be enabled with all the ultimates on cooldown, but he doesn't have the team to play with him. It's Heart against the world. Sunder to work with as well onto the real Spectre, but he's silenced, and Heart, he just doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know to hit. They've completely surrounded the Terrorblade and brought him down for the first time this game. As Meteor back-to-back fights, and they're about to have the net worth lead, and they've never had it this stage of the game.
Man, they're holding. They're able to do it. And again, that's a bit of an unforced error, right? Bright, they feel confident enough to go forward, but it's under that great Observer Ward, right? The Cliff Ward gave them everything that they could have possibly been hoping for. Let them set up for the proper initiation. They take out the clockwork instantly in that team fight, but Molasses, hasn't he shown up in these past 2 or 3 team fights, finding that great Doom? He was able to get the BKB off on the Leshrac, but again, with that Spectre, with the Skadi piercing through the spell immunity, means that you're still going to get slowed down, you're still going to get caught up to. And I mean, even with the Weaver, I think he put a Solar Crest onto him just to try and provide him with that little bit of extra space away from that chase down. Wasn't enough. I almost wonder, like, does Weaver now go into the Aghanim Scepter? Like, it's all well and good to scale, but if you could just take away this Doom potential from removing a hero from the game, just time-lapse him, right? Like, you're almost never going to be the main priority.
Try to figure this out, guys.
3-1 for Doom, I'm guessing.
Yes, I would say so. What? It feels like TB's tickling them in the fights. I think he needs a damage item, right? Would you say so?
Crimson Guard, that's what it's doing. That's the reason why, right? It's a Doom. It's a level 21 Doom. He's got 100 strength to play off of, so 60 plus 100. So he's getting like what, 135 damage block per hit. TB's hitting for about what, let's say 400 or so. With maybe if he crits, it'll be a little bit more, but it's a big amount of reduction.
Well, we've got to look at Irving then, right? To be able to mitigate the effectiveness out of the Crimson Guard with his ultimate. He needs to dispel that inside some of the fights. If he doesn't, then TB's just not going to be doing enough damage. I don't know what item he can look to pick up next to help that out. You've already got a crit on the Silver's Edge. Love a Daedalus, but going for the burst. Molasses. All right. And that's the gem as well now dropped. They are... Whoa, at this rate, we might be going to another round of tiebreakers.
I'm telling you guys, people are sleepy at the start of the game, at the start of the day, you know? Just takes them a little bit of time to get into their groove. Even this game, right? Like, it was a pretty decent high win probability for Bright up until the 30-minute mark of this game, but ever since then, it's just been all Meteor. Molasses showing again why just giving a player in a really do-or-die series a comfort hero on the Doom can be a bit of a difference maker.
Again, we said we weren't really feeling his impact early on, but he has showed up, and now he's going to have a lot of value out of this Scepter. See what he's able to do with that one in particular.
It's into 2 Lincolns, right? So it's like, well, great. Even just the 1 Lotus Orb, I think, that they've got on the Clockwork, not going to be effective. That's the main thing that he's trying to remove.
Just a small thing, but they force out the Weaver BKB, so that's down for 70 seconds. There's just a measly Shadow Step from Spec.
There's the Dagon I was wanting to see. Once again, on Echoes, he's trusting his own individual skill coming through, and he's been doing a pretty fantastic job so far, right? No Yorcept to be able to set up for kills. He still made kills happen. No BKB to keep him safe. He still only died 3 times for 22 kill involvements. He's going to go into the BKB next because, I mean, how much bigger can the man really get? But it's been another really solid performance from him on these Spirit Heroes, and he's even hit up onto his level 25, so a little bit more control for his team now.
Whoa, this a big ward. They're scouting out terribly. Currently down bottom. So Echoes is starting to make his way down. They'll even see Phoenix. That's another big kill. What do they got at the ready, though? There's still Shadow Steps on cooldown. They've got the Haunt, of course.
They took a bad fight under this previously, and you've got Scythe of Vice. You have to remember that he's got the Lincoln Sphere, though, on the Lesh.
Nice reactor. Oh, they still get the Hex off, though. And now it's going to be able to set up for the Remnant. So, yeah, it's only on the Weaver, which isn't the worst, but you get the kill 82nd 4v5. And they get the map into a position where they can try and capitalize. You've got Aegis for another minute 20 now.
I was wondering if they might try and go for an instant TP back up towards the top side on Void Spirit. Maybe just with the Spectre Shadow Step, look to connect through, try and blow up Phoenix. I'm just thinking as well, like, what are they going to have to be able to cancel out that Lincoln Sphere, to be able to enable... I guess that's part of the Dagon, right? Yes, it's good for burst damage, but just a quick usage of that, you're not even worried about the damage, just the lifesteal that it gives to you.
Look at Undyne. That's... What a man right there. Oh, he's kind of...
Tricks to cloak. Oh! He knows. He knows that he was burned by the Radiance, so he knows he's still hanging around.
Wait, hang on. They're on Irving again. Man, Echoes, what the hell is he doing to them? This dude is showing up huge in this game. I mean, what? I'm an X Factor game right here, and he is performing.
He is for sure. I mean, even in the last game, right? Like, he didn't play poorly on his Monkey King, I thought, but it just really doesn't feel like an Echoes hero as much as, you know, these roaming, these spirit styles, these space creators, and this, as we were mentioning before, just feels like such a Meteor style draft that they've been able to make work during the latter half of this season. Even Boots of Travel starting to come out on supports. You've got Ogre Magi looking to go into his next. He's holding onto the Dandelion as well, so just trying to prevent himself from getting burst 100 to 0. Parvis, Glimmer Cape, it's just so much damage block that you're having to get through. And with that on top of it, you've got the Fire Shield to play around with. I'm sure he's going to be pinging out that the Torment is available. I mean, to give that over to Void Spirit, like he needs even more help, but you would love to have an extra couple of seconds off of the Aether Remnant cooldown.
Yep. Even just scouting, honestly, is quite nice with it. You can put it in the creep wave now and you don't have to worry about it getting cancelled.
Yep. Farms the creep wave quicker as well. That's another bit of value from the Dagon, right? Instantly blows up the TB illusion if you're onto it.
Dude, he's got 4,100
queued
health.
up for a second. You keep saying 100. I remember the Centaur game. You're like, Centaur has 900 health.
And I said like 4,100. Did I not say 4,100? I'm like
I only heard 400, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, 4,100 or 4.1k. He's got the most health on Radiant, more than a Spectre, which is wild.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Octarine does give 625, but even then, these universal heroes, very interesting.
Kind of crazy. Even BKB for poor old Clockwork now. He's a little tired of getting consistently taken out at the start of the
Echoes.
That'd be a big pick.
But they're not going to have any more chain control after it. That's it. That's everything left in the tank. And now Echoes, no, he's going to use both charges to try and blow up Phoenix. You got to be cautious though, because Echoes is stuck, stunned up as well, but the damage is still not there without the Terror Blade. Echoes,
he went back in.
Can he get away? Out to the left. He's got one more ultimate, and he's alive. And now Molasses, he's going to be in with the Doom. They've got the Terror Blade. Arrow's going to connect as well. Everyone go for them, and they'll bring him down. Meteor. What a collapse. They won't be able to get the Weaver, and they won't worry about running back through the portal, but the job has been accomplished. Terror Blade down for 70 seconds, and they're going to stun Echoes. Oh, he got him range for the Hex. Beautifully done. Irving's going to be killed off as well, and no buyback for the Brewmaster.
Boots of Travel, just giving him that little bit of extra speed that he needs to be able to close the gap. And I mean, even just the Timeless Relic to increase the amount of time that people are caught inside of that Scythe of Vice. Like you mentioned, that's the only lockdown they have, is the hook shot into the stun coming through from the Lesh. I'm really wanting them to get something else. You know, they're going into Lincolns and all that, but do you really care that much about the Lincolns when you've got this AoE Doom coming through? They've got the Dagon to be able to break the Lincolns for enabling the Scythe of Vice. I think you need a Scythe of your own.
I don't know what Marblu was doing, but
even just a Bloodthorn. Would you hate a Bloodthorn? I wouldn't. Just silence. More burst damage to be able to 100 to 0 people.
Is this for TB, the Bloodthorn, or the Weaver?
Anyone. Anyone at all. Just something that's going to give them a little bit more lockdown so that they're not instantly able to connect on everyone. Yeah, not able to solo it, unfortunately.
Well, Spectre, he's got the Thorn queued up, so he's going to buy out. That's a risky decision.
He's got a cheese. He's got, again, the Mage Slayer. He's... again, look at all of this damage block. Like, when he was going for the retreat there on Echoes, he got Glimmered, he got Parvis, he got Fire Shielded. And then suddenly you've got 300 magical and physical protection. You've also got the, what's the percent? 70%-ish on the Fire Shield? 85% damage absorption.
Oh, wow.
So, like, it's so hard to be able to get through a lot of these heroes. And again, he still doesn't have a freaking BKB on Echoes. So he's got potential to scale even further if you look to consume the Ag Scepter for the Blessing, for example.
Oh, right. They're going to try and get out the base and look to try and smoke. Roche is up, and it is down bottom for another minute 30.
They'll have the
Got it.
damage. Now, is there any potential for the block of cheese? That's what I want to know. It doesn't seem like it. People have been eating those healing lotuses pretty regularly.
This is a... Do they have a gem on diet? They don't. So this ward's going to stay up, which could be huge because they might back off into it pretty shortly.
Yeah. I'm having a look at
the trying to get set up as well. Wait, do they... Hang on. How do they know he's there?
I think he wasn't in the smoke initially, and he was just shakuchiing through.
They're coming down.
I mean, it has to reveal that they've got vision there. Like, they cannot just assume to fight into this. And they would also have to assume that they've set up vision.
Wait, TB just TP'd out. They know there's no Terrorblade down, so everyone else has to escape.
Do they know? Did he do it under vision?
Yes, he did. They know. No TP, man. They're just feeding themselves now. Rue's going to get caught out. Instant burst, and Weaver's got to retreat, but that's just as soon as Roche is ready for the take-in, so...
30 seconds.
Here, they should be able to get it with how farm Spec is. So that's Aegis, Cheese, and another Scepter.
Who did you give this to? Ogre?
The Scepter?
Yeah.
You could give it to Echoes if he wants to
I would
sell the...
So, Cheese? Okay.
Oh, they gave it to... Alright, they gave it to the Mirana.
Enables you to farm. Why not? I think she had it queued up anyway, so it's like, all right.
Yeah, I think she did.
I'll take it.
Maybe even helps it with the Terrorblade illusions a little bit, the split pushing. Like, it's kind of, I mean, Bright, those past couple of fights, and they've just, they've cowered across the map. They have never been the ones playing aggressively now at all rating with their posturing top lane again. If you show for a second, Spectre is instantly on top of you with this. He's multiple times just Shadow stepped on Undyne, used Hex, Manta, and then the clock just dies, and the Spectre, real hero, doesn't have to be there as well.
And the one time that they did play aggressively just before was when TB had TP'd out.
Lassus ready to go. He does have some heroes behind him on Phoenix. Spectre doesn't have a Shadow Step for a little bit of time, so it's going to be without the Spectre's damage for them to be able to get the kill. And the Weaver, he's just going to have to watch on and see his Disco Pony die. And that's where the Scepter would come into play, like you've been asking for the Weaver for a little bit of time now. So, it's a pick-off without even the Spectre being involved.
I really don't think these Lincolns are going to be able to do anything. You know, like, it's going to protect, I guess, against like a Scythe of Vice if you're instant on your usage of it after a Dagon, but I don't think you could feel that reliable about it. Was that just everyone already had the shard? Yeah, so everyone gets, what was it, like 300 gold? Or something?
I think it's 280.
Yeah. Doesn't feel that great at this stage of the game, but whatever, they'll take it. Boots of Travel 2 as well on the Void Spirit. So what's the bot status on everyone? You've got it on Ogre. Mirana, not quite. I really wouldn't hate seeing her go into it.
Oh, okay. BKB is going to be expended from Imitator.
I mean, it's kind of ironic, right, that I feel like the way that Meteor are itemizing is how I feel like Bright should be itemizing.
They still got him. Oh, God.
Poor guy.
When do you think one of these pickoffs will actually eventuate to an objective?
I feel like they should feel pretty strongly in control right now, so I'd be surprised if they didn't try and push the advantage and just see if they don't have buybacks, right? Like, they might be able to assume that Weaver doesn't just because he's gotten a couple of new items in this last little bit. You've got level 30 on Spectre, you've got 2 cheeses, you've got Aegis, you've got a 40k net worth lead, and you don't want to let some busted tier 5 items be the reason that Bright are able to come back into this. 5 Fallen Skies, man, I'm telling you, that'll give them the extra lockdown they need.
I wonder what the probability is for everyone to have the option of getting 5 Fallen Skies and for it to even be a game where it's like, yeah, we actually need this.
Knoxville, do the math.
Do the math.
I mean, even like an Ex Machina on Phoenix would feel pretty great. I think he's just got the Scythe of Vice picked up for him. Finally, you know, we've been asking for something like this for quite some time now. Yeah, I really don't know if Undyne going into an Aghanim's Scepter is going to do anything for his game at this point. It's all just about additional save. Like a Wind Waker for him wouldn't be horrible, but that's something that Mirana is building. and there's nothing really like massively single target you're looking to save someone from, right? Whereas the Doom, absolutely you're looking to save someone from that, and he's even got Refresher now to be able to play with too.
So I guess the big thing is, like, Radiant, they don't have a tower hitter compared to Dire with the Terrorblade. Hang on, Phoenix jump in. Molasses just showing a little bit too far away from the team. That's a beautiful start to lock off the high ground with the Cogs as well, so Molasses will not be able to escape. It's finally hard. He's starting to pump out some damage. Meanwhile, now the Spectre, they're going to be able to turn to deal with him as well. He's in some trouble, but the beat can be activated. He can stand strong, and I look to turn Bright back. Is he going to find the opportunity now? Turns with his Sunder, but he's really hesitant. Maybe off the back of the Hex. They might be able to consider
so
about
big.
bringing Echoes down, but they're too tanky. Echoes, so got to be cautious, though. He's got the Aegis to work with pretty shortly here. Let's see if it's going to be enough. There's TZ, though. They've been able to bring him... Oh, nice force stuff away. TZ giving him the E-Blade as well. He's okay for the moment, but it looks like it's an all-out retreat. It's finally Bright. We're able to catch a break.
Right before 60-minute items. We're finally going to get them actually coming into Impact rather than, you know, the game ending at 60 minutes and 15 seconds. But, I mean, what a great hold. They just punished someone that was going in a little bit too deep. Like you said, they don't have the greatest push potential maybe for Meteor. It's 5 Books of the Dead just to throw them up onto the high ground and see what they can do. Let's see who gets the luck on their side, though. Level 25 now on the TB as well, so he's got increased meta duration. He's going into the Aghanim's Blessing for himself. Really don't hate that. Just providing a little bit more of that control for his team. Let's have a look. Void Spirit just a little bit away. He's going into a Wind Waker of his own.
TB got Mirror Shield. Okay.
Not bad, but again, AoE Doom, not that amazing. Maybe we'll catch out the Void Spirit with a Scythe of Ice. Everything is just... Look at him. He's looking to try and rat just with the Brewling. Has to be a little careful. He's committed all of them in here. They're splitting them up just to be able to release it through the shard to the one that's in the safer space. It's going to be the Earth Panda down bottom. I admire the fact that they're going for something a little unorthodox like this, though.
Yep. I mean, it's the most objective damage we've seen in... 15 minutes. But we do have some tier 5s, so Spectre Giant's Ring has been acquired. Mirror Shield given over to Echoes as well. Ex Machina on the Phoenix. Another Ex Machina on Imitator as well.
That's huge, that Ex Machina on Phoenix, right? Just gives him a second usage of the Bloodstone, gives him a second BKB, gives him a second Scythe of Vice. It's really, excuse me, is still dependent for me, though, on Bright being the ones to get the initiation onto the right target. Like, you're still going all-in damage for this Weaver right now. He's got the Chrysalis picked up. He's got... Do they have any break right now against this Spectre?
On who? Yeah, there was a Silver's Edge. Yeah, Heart's got it.
Okay. I kind of feel like Weaver should get it too instead of the Daedalus, don't you think? Why not? TB's not always going to be able to be in position. Weaver is much more capable of that. If TB had like a Swift Blink, maybe.
Radiant are scanning.
Last is a couple of seconds away from being killed off. They might just go high ground again off the back of this, and they might not be ready for everyone of Dire to be here. See if it's going to catch them off guard. They'll see the Split Earth.
Yeah. They're looking to make sure that they come back as an entire team, but happy enough just to take a lane of Rax. It's going to provide a little bit more pressure back towards that side of the map. Look at that Spectre on the top side, the Giant's Ring. That is terrifying. Imagine that coming at you in the middle of the night.
Something of nightmares right there. Where are we going? Mid lane? Or Clockwork? Got buyback at least. They're probably going to try and have bottom shoved in. They did a lot of damage to that tier 4 tower with the Brewmaster ulti. So that is always something now that needs to be considered for the boys on Radiant. They've kind of got a taste.
Bottom on Irving, right? He wants to be able to consistently get this. I almost wonder, because you can't use the Drunken Brawler passive on towers, and I feel like that's his main rat control. So I'm pretty sure he's probably going to go into that level 25 for the Fear Cinder Brew application.
Oh, Imitator. Oh, actually, all right, they got the Marana outside the base. Meanwhile, Spec's actually looking to jump in. So it's revealed the target. They're on Irving. Splits the cooldown for a couple seconds. Irving, he might be in a little bit of trouble.
He got his level
the time to activate it if required. Imitator now, well, outside the base as well, but he's going to be able to retreat safely. So it's just the Marana that ends up going down.
So he went the Drunken Brawler passive. I guess he just wants evasion and movement speed and all that stuff just to enable them to be a little bit more survivable. That feels like his only role left in this game, right? He's going in AC as well, so he just wants to go that full rat play. Look at him drawing on the map. You know, that is not a letter P. This is the area of the map that I want to be playing around. Top side is where Roshan is potentially coming up in a minute if they are not killed. I don't know what that means. I will look. I want to guess before I look.
No, I'm good. I can't be bothered guessing. I could be 100 million things.
Bro, we had like fruity milk competition previously. You could say anything. I think monitor issues.
Oh, we are good though. We got the G and the sorry. It's okay. Don't have to be sorry, Marblue. No G though from Undyne, so seems a little bit.
He's full focused. Almost level 20 on the clockwork as well. So he's going to have that additional rocket flare true sight, which feels pretty nice. Or if they want to continue going down this rat build with the Aghanim Scepter, if he finishes it up, you could just look to shove out lanes constantly. You've already got the Brewmaster, of course, to be able to do that, but triple rocket flare to add on to the plus 75 damage just completely wipes those out and forces them to play so defensively.
Irving, oh, he's just going to jump up aggressively, no hesitation.
I don't know if you can commit all of your Brewlings for this.
Yeah, Bright is super hesitant. Nah, yeah, they're like, I don't know about that, brother. This is not what we the plan we constructed off to try and make that attempt. So they'll back it up.
They're pinging bottom Roche, but it's going to move top in 5 seconds.
They're coming out as well. Moonlight Shadow Echoes trying to get out on the map.
You would have to say that Brew's probably happy with it being a refresher, though, right? You want to give it over to him and just have a second use of that to keep the pressure up.
Now, let's see if they all read this, though. Like, half read it on Radiant. Spectre's top, Ogre's coming as well.
Yeah.
Oh, is he just going to rat?
I mean...
I guess he can TP. He's got the outpost, I suppose.
Yeah. They got all of their tier 5 items already? They have. Okay.
Roche's, that's going to fall before they contest it. All right.
They're just waiting for primal split. 20 seconds. Oh, they see him. They see the Brew.
What? Oh, no. Did he run in the ward range? I looked at Roche for a second.
Yes, he did. He did. He was right on the edge of the ward range, just preparing to rat. Undyne took the Aegis? Or were they just doing that anyway?
I don't know, but yeah, Undyne's got the Aegis, Refresher Shard.
Kept in base for the Brew.
Okay, I was going to say, did they leave it in the pit? And Imitator's got cheese, if that means anything.
Please, Aghanim Scepter, Weaver. Protect whoever gets doomed.
Yeah.
Or even a Desolator. I'd take a Desolator. You know, if you want to go a joint rat build with the Brewmaster, just to enable, you know, a glyph or just buildings to explode if you're not in the right position, I'd be happy enough with that. They're going to use the Moonlight Shadow as Marblue is very deep away from his team. I know he can get connected onto by the Boots of Travel 2 on Void Spirit plus the Spectre, but got to be very careful with your positioning here.
Buyback status like Joss Marana without it. Okay.
So for her to be the one out that deep is kind of nutty, right?
Ooh, Doom just bought out as... Okay, never mind, he sold BKB again. Still a little bit of time, my friend, till you can buy out for that item.
I mean, what that does, though, is it turns all of the reliable gold that he used to buy that into unreliable gold. So he's going to be losing more money when he dies. And just a little bit of extra free money. Sure.
Dude, I actually don't see an end. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. Because we still need 2 fights, right? Unless the last fight What the hell is going on top lane? Wait, they're on the left track. Phoenix! Great hook shot. Undying to the rescue. Keeps Phoenix alive. Both of them popped the Machina. In fact, it was actually Refresher on Spectre, so he's ready to go again. Echoes, jump in. The Remnant drag back on the Imitator. A very defensive use of the BKB, but just making sure he doesn't get caught out by anything random. They want to go back in, though. They are ready, even down the ages advantage. They still have this 34,000 net worth lead, and they're finally posturing aggressively. Dine's going to reveal himself up on the higher ground, but definitely not the target you want to start on.
Oh, Heart's going in.
He's coming out. All right. Trying to maybe bait them back to their observe ward, seeing if Molasses can find the angle bottom lane. They saw him again. He's going to get the split off. Pretty good reactions out of Irving. With the split used, he should be okay.
Again, they can't get all four. They surely can't get all four. Okay.
The other two.
The fire and that, Earth and Void are going down bottom.
We saw before Irving was wanting to have the Spell Prism in his inventory just to use that and then split, but because of the Hex on the Spectre, you just can't get, that's too greedy. That's too greedy at this stage of the game. You die 100 seconds without him, it's a big window for the enemy team. And regardless, it's a big window with Split being on cooldown for 50, so Meteor ready to go.
Yeah.
Might get a glimpse of Imitate. They're even just going to doom him. Why not? They're happy with just any kill. Undying's going to go in. Heart's nearby his bolt. They won't be able to force Weaver out, but he can buy back and time lapse in if he wants to. Heart, is he going to have enough damage to the Terrorblade? They're doing a great job to kite him at the moment, and Dire, this is not the fight they were hoping for. A second member's going to go down, and they will just have to cut their losses at that.
Look at Brew, though. Full rat play. He's looking to try and pick it up. They see him, though. He's underneath that Watcher. Oh, they're going in. They were maybe trying to bait him. I don't know if you even want to fight into this. You got to get out on Heart.
Whoa, whoa, oh, wait, what did he... Oh, I can pop Refresher shot to get the double blink away. Because he blinked inside that little river spot, and they thought they saw him. So that is shard now wasted, not the potential of a double split inside a fight. They get the break, hang on, Spectre finally might be in some trouble, but Heart was a little bit too late to pop that second use of the meta. And they're going to go back in. Wait, Spectre might go down, look at the damage! Can I get out back to the high ground? Someone's winding is there to help to keep him alive. Okay, Heart unable to secure the kill. Meanwhile, let's take a look at top. They're lacking the backdoor protection, though.
Should be able to get out in time. Is he sending it off? Looks like the Storm Panda will be able to get away in time.
Holy crap. That was finally a fight where we saw that Heart got the break on Spectre and he actually almost died. It was a little bit... Meta must have still been on cooldown, but if they had that, he was 100% dead.
So close, isn't it? Still, 40k down. It's... Oh, how can you be 40k up without a single rack's taken?
Spec is 11,000 gold. Even buy. He's got butterfly in his backpack. So funny.
You're against MKB. Is it all that useful? Probably not. He ate the block of cheese. He made the block of cheese. The Spectre. He's got it. He's got 500 permanent shield now.
Savory shield.
Yeah.
Tell us.
So for those that aren't aware, so to make this, you need cheese and you need 3 greater lotuses. So that's, hold on, he might get gone.
Let's see if it's going to protect him. Yeah. There's the break once again. Then they've got this time the meta damage, and that should be the end of the Spectre. His first death in 71 minutes. Hang on, how much? Hang on a second. Was it not over like 40k? Was it even like 44? What was the lead they just had? Okay, so 7,000 swing off 1 kill.
I think I'm not sure if cheese is worth anything, so if you like consumed the cheese to make it the block of cheese, then also something. Maybe the moon shard as well, I'm not sure. Oh, that's a buyback.
Yeah, because they see Irving. Or maybe they don't. Who do they see? Maybe Undying? Who are they going for with this horn?
That is not worth a buyback unless you're confirming.
Irving's just going to go in the
really
base. Mid's getting pushed in. They're not going to have backdoor protection. And they're going to do just that. Your base, lads.
And again, you can't afford to make a bad move on the Spectre, right? If you get caught in the wrong spot, that's no buyback.
Oh, no way.
27k lead.
On.
Win probability back in their favor.
Is this even a team that deals with Megas? Spectre, I don't think does. I don't know, 73 minutes in, but...
Doom's okay, right? Shiva's Scorched Earth. You've got Mirana with the Aghanim Scepter, which makes it okay. The extra Starstorm damage, if you get that at level 25, feels kind of nice. Everyone is itemizing to go for that late game carry potential. Even Mirana going into a Mjolnir at this point, just to be able to toss that that active onto a creep to maybe push out the wave a little quicker.
Ooh.
All right, so it kind of feels like that
speak about the
territory,
shield
doesn't
real
it?
quick.
Okay. So to make the shield, you need cheese and you need 3 Greater Lotuses in your inventory at the same time. Just time-wise, that takes up until like 42 minutes to make happen. If you just were grabbing every single Lotus on the map, top and bottom, I think. And then, so that's about 18 Lotuses that you need. And then it gives you a 500 damage shield that regenerates at 100 health per second if you don't take hero damage for 5 seconds. So it kind of acts like a salve where you can get hit by creeps and you can get hit by towers and it still regenerates.
Well, let's see if that's going to be enough to protect him with this rapier now.
And you can see he's backpacked the Radiance as well. Backpack Butterfly, backpack Radiance. He knows that that's useless against the Terrorblade. It's actually negative impact that you're giving towards your team at this stage of the game and the Monkey King bar.
It's very interesting. He's still holding the Manta. I mean,
well,
maybe just to get rid of
anything else.
Yeah, I will.
Maybe a Revenant's Brooch at this stage of the game against the TB?
I guess the Manta's got a lot of value with the getting rid of the reflection. Because, I mean, if they turn the reflection onto the Spectre, he could be in some trouble. Echoes. Able to scout out Weaver. Hookshot. Oh, hang on a second. Where's the rest of Dire that are capitalizing in this choke point area? They're going in one by one, but Undyne, he's done his job to keep Imitator alive. Can they get across the map? Where's...
Roche is going top.
Oh.
He slams through Heart on the way up there. Have to be very careful with just taking the gate up, though.
Bottom lane. Ogre's going to get called out. They're starting to tip into the catapult. They'll use the... All right, Molasses now trying to turn it back around. He has the refresher if he wants. Another round of the Doom. Do they have detection?
No detection.
No, they don't. Another base. One T4 is down.
Oh, Irving.
Another
gets away
one.
on the creep that can be in business.
Well, hang on, he might not. Do they see him? How do they know where he is?
They don't. It was luck. And they're going to take Roche.
Is it this
Another
refresher again, then?
Yeah, give it to Irving. Why not? He's buying his own refresher as well.
There we go. Scepter picked up on the Weaver.
Finally, man. About
very big.
40 minutes late, it feels.
Did he buy Blessing or just the...
I don't know, but you could sell the Lincolns at this rate, honestly.
Yeah, he bought Blessing. Yeah, he chill. Oh, there's a DD. I mean, this is just one more fight. One more fight is all Bright need to be able to book their ticket into Division 1 with a 30,000 deficit. Spectre dies, this game is over. There's just nothing they're going to be able to do to find a way back in.
How long have they got? 4 minutes left on that buyback. Not even wanting to show underneath the Ancients camp. Feeling a little scared that maybe they've had time to place that ward up onto the high ground. But you still need to keep these lanes pushed.
They got a glimpse of Molasses at their outpost. They're pinging him out. It's going to be up to Undyne. Hookshot's still on cooldown for another 15 seconds. They get the pass over Rocket. They know exactly where he is. And Radiant, they're relatively close by. Is this a fight Spectre wants to take, though?
She got feared anyway. A little bit of extra vision for Undying. I mean, he could start launching those rockets down towards the bottom area of the map if they really want to. But he was on the mark as well.
Wait, their base. Throne's exposed now. Can they get the Wind Panda? They do. Wait, okay, one made it out. Oh my
Fire
lord.
Panda's the fastest one.
Echo's hunting though. What's he trying to do with this?
I don't think he can.
Can they maybe blow him up with the Spectre? Dire are actually pretty close by. They've got to be really quick with this attempt and look to get out with their own lives. The kill into Irving.
Again, got to be careful.
They didn't want to jump in, though. Didn't see an opportunity there from Bright, so they're going to look to back up, but it's a bit of a window now. Importantly, it's also time given over to the Spectre buyback to come off cooldown. Also, maybe get some map control into your name.
XP rune being pinged out. Hopefully Echoes doesn't grieve his team by taking it. Weaver almost at his level 30 as well for that extra Shikuchi cooldown reduction. Clockwork not close to his level 25. He wouldn't hate to have that for the debuff immunity inside the cogs, make you not have to be worried about getting chain stunned or anything like that. Even just the chain lockdown with a battery assault with an Aghanim's blessing feels pretty good too. All of that AoE damage, but this is really what I was expecting to see come out of the impact of the overclocking, right? You can just shove these lanes in. Every single one just gets a trio of rockets pumping into it, and then what can you do against it, right? You're already fending against mega creeps. You're fending against a brewmaster that's finding ways to rat.
You got a full level and a bit off that. Echoes? Phoenix is here nearby as well. They're going to be able to get rid, even popping the refresher just for the second hex if they need it. But the Wind Waker gets some distance away. Is it going to be enough to cover the retreat? He goes down to the south. Beautifully done. Echoes, he's out. Wait, is he? Do they see him with that cliff ward? Oh, right.
Oh,
wait,
the
they're glimpse.
The rockets. They're scouting.
Oh my God.
They were on point every time. I mean, even the Moonlight wouldn't have saved him, of course, with the Clockwork level 20 talent. He went for the true sight rather than the damage, and I mean, if that won them the game, he would have been like, well, worth. He just needs to keep firing up rockets. That's Undyne's main goal this game, as well as just catching anyone out that ventures.
All right. Let's go. I was going to say,
like that.
All right. This man does a lot of damage. 317 base. Let's see what he's able to do now off the back of the rapier. He's got the Revenant's Brooch queued up as well for Echoes. I don't know what he sells for that.
The Yasha? Yasha for starters? Kyron Sard, rather?
Yep.
But I mean, do you just backpack the bots? Because I feel like he needs There's something that I thought he needed. Hold on. Give me a moment. It's 80 minutes in. I need a second.
Doctor's buyback is back up in 3 seconds. Needs refresher.
He wants refresher. Okay. Yep. Maybe they're just banking on being able to take another Roche, but I mean, it's already hard to get out of your base, let alone take a big objective like that. And again, every 5 minutes, the Echo is just going into that mid lane to be able to clear it out. They'll see now that he's got the rapier as well, so they might be able to adjust their play off the back of that.
Hang on, Spectre top lane. What's going on here?
She's got buyback back though.
Wait, this is the real Spectre, and Heart's going to be able to find the break. The fear as well, he's in a lot of trouble. Going to try and find a target to haunt away, but he's still stuck in the middle of the fight. He goes to bottom instead. Irving, I don't think he's going to be able to kill him by himself. And now the team's arrived to the left side of the map.
He's on the clock.
Oh, wait, they still find him.
Yeah, he haunted to the clock. They dropped the rapier. Take it, Clockwork.
Now the throne's exposed. They might go for the final push.
He's got buyback at least, and the full haunt.
We got the rapier. TB, okay. Another use of the split as well. All or nothing. Right, one fight away from Division 1. Glyph's going to be able to delay this for the moment. They need to reset, but the Weaver's down, but he can rejoin. Maybe they want out, though. That's a big victory still with the Spectre buying back. Off to the left side, they got the Brew. Whoa.
You can tell he was thinking about going for another sort of rat play. He ate the refresher and was about to use it, but again, another pick off that they're able to get. TB still not even yet level 30. So there's more scaling potential. He's holding on to 17,500 gold right now, but what can you even give out at this point? It's almost like giving over right-click damage to a Phoenix isn't really worth it. Attack speed. So what's the point? And, well, there's one of those TB counters, the Revenant's Brooch, allowing him to hit on into it. Of course, it amplifies with an intelligence, and, well, it's not like Void Spirit's an int hero anymore, but still feels pretty good with all of that int that you've purchased through the Wind Waker and the Scythe of Ice. Might even want to put the Dagon back in just to get even more value out of it.
Wait, I haven't even checked the Mirana's build in a while. He's scaling.
Yep.
I haven't even noticed that he's...
So I saw that he queued up the Mjolnir a while ago, and I thought that was like response to the Megas, right? Because they just needed a way to passively push out lanes safely.
What's happening bottom?
They're not
Push that cliff.
seeing.
Think it's pop. Great reaction. Phoenix, he's going to get the mark in her again. So another round of the BKB, and he should be able to escape.
They need bash at this rate, don't they?
You need a lot. It's a hard call to make. Do they have greater fairies as well on dial?
You look at it with the cheese being dropped if they're like, all right, how many they got?
Nah, they don't. No greater, no greater lotuses, I should say.
There's one great lotus, so they need plenty more.
They
need like 15 more.
That can't be lotus. My mind is fried. What's a probability? 71% for Bright. Okay. And again,
Full
we
smoke.
go.
Buyback's favoring them.
Some molasses.
He'd be great. He doesn't have buyback for a minute and a half.
He would indeed. You get the jump, and that's on the back of Undyne. Phoenix there to follow up. An easy kill onto Doom, and that is a lot of your control inside the team fight now not available. Echoes, what can he do off the back of the Rapier? He's going to make the attempt for the Terrorblade. A decent chunk of damage just with one Astral Step. But simultaneously, the Mirana's being caught outside the base. She's in trouble. Meanwhile, it's Boulder on the Brewmaster. Spectre and Void Spear hand in hand. And they'll be able to come out on top. A big kill onto Irving, who's got a buyback. But keep in mind, Radiant, they've got no glyph. It's all or nothing now. The split. Irving's in off the back of the buyback. They might just turn to the throne instead, but the Metamorphosis exposed. They're going to be able to do it. There's nothing they can do to stop the push. And with the throne blowing up, Bright will be our second team to...